What's up, everybody? It is Broken Havoc here, right here on the Broken Havoc podcast, here to review Monday Night Raw from June 28th, 2021. What are my thoughts on this show? I did state last week on my Raw review that Raw last week was not as bad of a show as previous weeks were, mainly because of the fact that we had qualifying matches for Money in the Bank. But I feel like with this show, we went right back to square one. I honestly believe that this show wasn't great at all. In fact, I actually felt really uncomfortable watching this show. Not only that, I had a headache watching this show to the point where I didn't even want to take notes. But what happens? He goes, WWE, look, again, Raw, it's just illogical and really dumb. The booking decisions that they make, the rematches that they constantly do, it's really ridiculous. And yes, I know I missed my SmackDown and Dynamite reviews. Thankfully, we got Dynamite finally returning back to Wednesdays on TNT. So be on the lookout for my Dynamite review on Thursday, and of course SmackDown review on Saturday. So we're going back to the original format that it was. We no longer have to deal with these preemptions, which I do not like. But yes, I did miss SmackDown and Dynamite, but I did catch them. Especially Dynamite. I actually didn't watch SmackDown in full, but I did watch Dynamite in full on demand. So I know Jungle Boy did face Kenny Omega, of course, for the AEW World Championship. A fantastic match, I will say. The atmosphere was awesome. I really enjoyed the match. One of the best matches, in my opinion, of the year. Really good match. And, of course, on the SmackDown side, I didn't watch SmackDown in full yet, but I know that Edge returned, and he's going to be facing Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank. So I'm going to be excited to watch that match. Of course, Money in the Bank is the first pay-per-view with live fans. And, of course, this coming Wednesday on AEW Dynamite is going to be the final AEW Dynamite at Daly's Place before they go on the road. So it's going to be exciting to see. Again, what are my thoughts on this week's Raw? Honestly, this show was not good. It's really, especially last night, man, when I was taking notes, it was such a struggle just trying to take notes to the point where, I didn't, for some of the matches, I didn't take notes on every move that happened on the match like I usually do, because I had absolutely no interest in it whatsoever. If anything, I feel like I was just, I don't know, I just felt like I was there watching the show for no apparent reason. That was the problem that I had with Raw. Not only that, first off, we got a second chance triple threat match, which, if this was an actual sport, if this was legit and if this was a shoot, there would be absolutely no second chance qualifiers. If anything, there would have probably been just a qualifying match and that's it. But no, we got a second chance qualifying match, mainly because Drew lost against Riddle last week, and Drew is this is basically for Drew McIntyre. This is for Drew McIntyre to basically go over. Some points in the match, I actually thought that Riddle was going to win, but apparently he didn't. I'm not going to lie, the triple threat match was not bad. I just didn't like the fact that Drew McIntyre won the match. I thought it was really dumb. Second chance, of course. Typical WWE babyface booking. Whenever they book a top babyface, they always do this type of stuff. It goes to show you why the fans eventually turn on the babyface that they're trying to push. It's because of stuff like this. That's just my opinion. When you look at AEW pushing their own babyfaces, you don't see them trying to shove them down your throats constantly. And not only that, you had Drew McIntyre basically say the same promo of him telling the story about what happened gajillions of years ago. It's the same thing, and WWE needs to stop with that. They need to book babyfaces more in a better way. In what way, I do not know, but I do not like the way that they book their babyfaces, considering the fact that they always love shoving them constantly down your throat. That's just my opinion. All right, but this show starts off with a battle royal. We got Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce talking about the Battle Royal, and whoever basically wins this Battle Royal will enter the triple threat match later on tonight on Raw. So then Riddle confronts them in Gorilla after that, and basically states that he wants to be in the Battle Royal, and he wants to be Randy Orton and just take Randy Orton's place. And if he wins the Battle Royal, he will be entered in the triple threat. Not only that, if he wins the triple threat, Randy Orton will eventually be part of the Money in the Bank ladder match. Great. So then he gives them a note that's basically, he gives them a note of Randy Orton in Riddle's handwriting, and he is proposing that he basically wants to be in the match on Randy's behalf. So the match starts. What are my thoughts on this triple threat match? I could care less. Couple notes on the match. Drew Gulak gets eliminated by Shelton Benjamin. Then Benjamin gets eliminated. Angel Garza is not eliminated by hopping in. He almost gets eliminated, but by hopping on one foot on the outside. So he basically pulls a Kofi Kingston in this predicament. He gets back in. Ali eventually eliminates Angel Garza. Ali eliminates Mansoor. R-Truth after that gets eliminated by Jinder Mahal. Akira Tozawa gets eliminated by Mahal. Gulak pins Tozawa. We get a new 24/7 champion. Truth pins Gulak after that. We get another 24/7 champion. Tozawa pins Truth. He basically, I don't even know. He retains the 24/7 championship again. Omos comes in, who is not part of the match, and eliminates the Viking Raiders out of nowhere. So, what is the point? I do not know. Damian Priest and Jinder Mahal fight it out. He eliminates Mahal with an enziguri. Hardy and Priest fight it out after that. Hardy lays out everyone. A Twist of Fate by Jeff Hardy. Alexander eventually eliminates Jeff Hardy. Hit the lights on. Damian Priest hits the hit the lights on Alexander. Eliminates Alexander. Riddle and Priest are the final two in this match. There's a couple kicks by Damian Priest. We got a German suplex by Priest. We get a bro mission by Matt Riddle on Damian Priest. Riddle almost gets eliminated. We get a clothesline by Priest. Then we get a triangle applied on Priest on the apron. We get a knee by Riddle. We get a high knee by Riddle and wins the Battle Royal. And then Riddle wins. What are my thoughts? Damian Priest and Matt Riddle looked great. The rest of the the Battle Royal, I did not care for. If anything, I just don't care about it, considering the fact that, there's a lot of goofy stuff that happens when it comes to things like this. And, the whole 24/7 championship, it's not funny anymore. If anything, it's downright embarrassing to watch. I mean, people would say it would work it worked like the first few months when it was first introduced. But if anything, I feel like it just died out when it first debuted. Like, nobody cares about it anymore. The 24/7 championship, it's not even an actual championship. It's a joke. It's a joke. That's just my opinion. It's bad. It sucks. All right, we got Shayna Baszler with Nia Jax and Reginald talking about Alexa Bliss, all that stuff. Shayna basically saying, yes, I know it's Alexa Bliss's fault. She's doing all this supernatural stuff. And then once they leave for their match, Alexa Bliss is watching from behind. So we're doing this whole supernatural gig once again when it comes to Alexa Bliss. Okay, great. AJ Styles and Omos, we get a backstage interview with them. Talks about Orton not being there. Says it should be AJ Styles and Drew McIntyre one-on-one. He talks about how he's going to be winning Money in the Bank and eventually possibly becoming a 3-time WWE champion. Not only that, defending his Raw Tag Team Championships with Omos. Great. I actually hope AJ Styles eventually becomes WWE champion again, because I don't know why he's in the tag team division. He should be in the main event scene still, in my opinion. All right. We get another Nikki Cross backstage interview. So, last week I was talking about Nikki Cross basically becoming a superhero. And I did state, yes, it was Nikki Cross's creation. But, and this is a big giant but, I do not like the fact that, look, I understand it's her creation, but to me, in my opinion, it doesn't fly. I was not a big fan of this. When I first saw this on my television screen last week, I was like, what? What is this? It was just cringe. And some people say it may go over once fans come back. I would disagree with that. But if it does go over when fans come back, I will admit I'm wrong. But I'm not a big fan of this. So she talks about being an inspiration, all that stuff. And talks about possibly winning the Raw Women's Championship. In my opinion, I do not want that to happen. That's just me. I don't know about you guys. We got Shayna Baszler versus Nikki Cross. This was a really big disappointment in the match. So basically what happens is both lock up. We get a takedown by Baszler. We get a shoulder tackle by Baszler. We get a cross body by Cross. We get a side suplex. We get a couple right hands by Baszler. Cover by Baszler and a near fall. Takes Cross to the corner. We get a couple kicks in the corner by Baszler. Drop kick by Cross on Baszler on the outside. Alexa Bliss eventually comes out. Cross hits a crossbody on the outside on Baszler and Reginald and Nia Jax. Kick by Baszler. We get a cover and a near fall. Cross is on the top. We get a tornado DDT. Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss are face to face again, doing this whole supernatural garbage. Reggie tries to come to Nia and be like, "Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this." But Bliss kicks them both. We get a roll up by Cross. We get a near fall. Clothesline by Baszler. We get a roll through. And what happens? Nikki Cross again pins Shayna Baszler. By this point, I had a really big headache. Like, again, why is Shayna Baszler getting pinned by Nikki Cross, who's wearing a superhero outfit? Look, again, I know that wrestling's a work, but like, you know, you wonder why the ratings are going down. It's because of stuff like this and the lack of logic with these people. Shayna Baszler should be in the main event scene. Instead, she's in burial level. Not only that, she's gonna go if they keep on booking Shayna Baszler like this. I feel like she's gonna go into jobber status. That's just me. I have no faith in these people when it comes to booking for Shayna Baszler. That's just me. I was not a big fan. All right, here's a breath of fresh air, in my opinion. Kofi Kingston's segment. So, of course, last week we had a Hell in a Cell match with Xavier Woods and Bobby Lashley. I will say, even though I thought it was a dumb idea for WWE to book a Hell in a Cell match, considering the fact that we had one on SmackDown and we had a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view the night before, it was a pure example of USA just wanting something. They just wanted it. They were pissed off because Fox got it, so there was like, so we need to get a Hell in a Cell match too. Great. But I will say Xavier Woods versus Bobby Lashley absolutely killed it. I really enjoyed the match. That elbow drop from the top by Xavier Woods looked amazing. That was just me. I was a big fan of that spot. But he talks about how last week affected him. He says that Xavier Woods fought it out. Says that Bobby Lashley winning was okay, but what happened after the match was not okay. Says that he will make Bobby Lashley pay. And then after that, MVP comes out with all the women. Says he thought he was going to beat Bobby Lashley at Money in the Bank. And says it was the funniest thing he has ever heard. That's what that's what MVP said. Says that they're looking forward to the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, mainly because of the fact that it's in front of a live audience. Says that he is no threat to the Almighty. And MVP states that Lashley loved every second what he did to Woods. And he basically made the comparison with Brock Lesnar. A lot of people are saying Goldberg is eventually going to face Lashley at SummerSlam. If that does happen, WWE, it goes straight that WWE knows that. They just love booking things completely backwards. If MVP name dropped Brock Lesnar in this promo, it goes to show you that Lashley's eventually going to be facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's the match that everybody wants to see. I do not want to see Lashley versus Goldberg. If anything, Lashley versus Goldberg is a really, 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 really bad match. Nobody wants to see that. If anything, in my opinion, Goldberg would get booed out of the building. But he basically does the comparison to Brock Lesnar. He says he already beat Bobby. Says every week a layer of Bobby Lashley is stripped away. That's what Kofi Kingston says. And says that he's a shell of his former self. And says he's like MVP. MVP does what he does because Lashley deserves it. That's what MVP states. Kingston says that he took no breaks when he was champion for 6 months, and he took it all around the world. Says Lashley's taking vacations. MVP states that he respects his optimism. Kingston states that Woods is going to be here next week. Says MVP was milking this injury for 6 months. Then MVP replies with, he is not cleared and he is hurt. Says that then Kingston says that if he was cleared and hurt, no, that's what MVP said. MVP states that, my bad, I'm just out of nowhere today. MVP basically states that if he was cleared, he would come back to the ring and he would whoop Kingston's ass. And after that, Kingston just comes out of the ring and just attacks MVP and hits a Trouble in Paradise and just yells in front of a MVP who is vulnerable and is like, yeah, you're not hurt, you're not hurt. What are my thoughts on this segment? This was by far the best thing on the show. I really liked the promo that Kofi Kingston cut, considering the fact that if you want a babyface to be booked the way that they're booked, and if you want a babyface to be strong, you just give him a promo like this. And this promo by Kofi Kingston, I believed every word that he said, considering the fact that Kofi Kingston, I enjoyed Kofi Mania 1. I enjoyed his title run. I thought his title run was pretty good. I just hated the way that they executed it in the end, considering the fact that he lost in 5 seconds to Brock Lesnar on the debut of SmackDown on Fox. But I love the chemistry with MVP and Kofi Kingston. I do think that they're both really good on the microphone. They're really good at what they do. And let's see where this leads to. Do I think Kofi Kingston is going to be winning the WWE title at Money in the Bank? No, I think Lashley's going to be retaining, and we're going to be getting Lashley versus Lesnar at SummerSlam for the title at the pay-per-view at SummerSlam. But this is the thing. A lot of people are confused whether Brock Lesnar should win or Lashley should win. How I would book it is that it's kind of risky considering Brock Lesnar is, you guys know how Brock Lesnar works, but I would book Lesnar to win only for the match with Roman to happen. And what I mean by that is you just look forward to Survivor Series. You go all the way down to Survivor Series and have Lesnar versus Reigns, champion versus champion at Survivor Series. That's actually, in my opinion, I think that's a pretty good booking decision because the story is there when it comes to Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns because they fought like 5 times. But in this predicament, it's different. All right, but that's that. I really enjoyed this segment. We got Eva Marie backstage with Doudrop. Says Doudrop made a mistake last week and all that stuff. She just talks about how she's not going to screw this up now and all that crap. Eva Marie and Doudrop versus Asuka and Naomi. Didn't we see this match last week, so why are we seeing it again? It makes absolutely no sense. So Doudrop and Naomi start. We get an enziguri by Naomi from the top. Doudrop drops on Naomi. Misses a senton. Asuka tags in. Goes to the top. We get a drop kick by Asuka. We get a hip attack in the corner. Kick by Asuka. Asuka lock on Doudrop. Then Eva pretends that she wants to tag in, but eventually she does not. And Asuka misses her attack. Then we get a senton by Doudrop. Flattens Naomi. And then we get a crossbody by Doudrop on Asuka. Wins the match. What are my thoughts? Could care less. We all know Eva Marie. She's not doing anything. Doudrop, thank God they're not going to keep that name on Piper Niven. They're going to eventually name her Piper Niven in the future, considering where the storyline is going. That's just me. But it is what it is. We get a backstage interview with John Morrison. He talks about Money in the Bank. Miz says that he will win and will cash it in. Ricochet comes in and talks about the Money in the Bank, and then Ricochet comes in and states that he just talks about the Money in the Bank and what's going to happen. And after that, he grabs the drip stick and doesn't even grab it. He hid it from them and just showed it to them. So we got Ricochet stealing things now. That's his new gimmick. Ricochet is stealing things. Wow, great. And he sprays the drip stick on John Morrison. Do I care? No, I don't. John Morrison versus Ricochet. One of these matches that I didn't really care of. First off, it makes absolutely no sense why these two wrestlers are wrestling. But a couple things on the match, a couple notes. We got a Hurricane Run on the outside. Crossbody by Ricochet. We got a sliding clothesline by Ricochet. Then a sliding knee by Morrison. We get a cover and a near fall. Inside cradle by Ricochet, but we get a kick out. Cover and a near fall after that. We get a drop kick by Ricochet, and after that, what happens? Ricochet just goes full Ricochet and hits a crossbody off the top rope on Morrison on the outside of the barricade. I'm not going to lie. I really liked that spot. That was an awesome spot to see. Really, really fun to watch. But the match ends in a count out considering the events of that particular spot. Did I care a lot about this match? No, I thought it was, I just didn't care for it. All right, we got Charlotte and Italiana and Tamina backstage talking about their opponents. Basically, Charlotte is just cutting a promo of family bloodline and all that stuff and how they're going to be the veterans and all that crap. I don't care. All right, so the match starts. So we got Charlotte and Italiana and Tamina versus Rhea Ripley, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke. So the match starts. Both teams eventually brawl. And then we go to commercial break, and then we come back from commercial break, and then the match starts. We get a knee by Rose. Natalya begins to tag in, gets sent to the corner. Dana works on Natalya in the corner. We get a cover by Brooke and a near fall. Right hand by Natalya. We get an elbow by Natalya. Charlotte tags in, works on Dana. Natalya tags in. We get a snap suplex on Brooke by Natalya. Charlotte tags in. We get a couple chops by Charlotte. Works on Brooke in the corner. We get a roll-up by Brooke, near fall. Rhea Ripley tags in after that. Works on Charlotte. Cover and a near fall. Natalya tags in. We get a roll-up, a near fall. Dana tags in, and then Mandy tags in. We get a double team attempt on Natalya by both Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. Cover, and Tamina comes in for the save. Everyone at this point is getting involved in the match. Brooke hits a neck breaker. We get a roll up by Mandy. We get a sunset flip. Natalya fails to apply the sharpshooter. We get a big boot by Charlotte. Cover on Mandy, and wins the match. And after that, we get a chop block by Rhea Ripley on Charlotte Flair after the match. So Rhea Ripley, again, pulling a heel tactic. Makes no sense. I do not know why. We all know Charlotte is eventually going to be winning the title at Money in the Bank. That's just, it is what it is. All right. We got Jaxson Ryker backstage with R-Truth and talks about the strap match with Elias. R-Truth is like, what are you doing, man? You know, R-Truth is basically being R-Truth. I'm not going to lie. R-Truth is actually pretty funny. He makes me laugh all the time whenever I watch Raw. He's like him and Riddle are like the only two funny things on Raw. Everything else regarding comedy is bad. The only two pieces of comedy that I actually laugh at whenever I watch Raw is Riddle and R-Truth. That's it. All right, we got the strap match with Elias and Jaxson Ryker. Again, a match that I do not care whatsoever. The commentators were constantly saying that this was a really, really brutal match. I mean, it's a strap match, of course, but like I wasn't really invested in this match. The match starts. Elias goes right after Ryker, who works on Ryker in the corner, sends Ryker to the steel steps, traps Ryker to the post, he's basically tying him on the post. Got a couple right hands and hits on Ryker with the strap. Ryker sends Elias on the post, hits Elias with the strap, hits Elias again repeatedly. We get a knee by Elias, cover and a near fall. Elias hits Ryker with the strap. Ryker fights back, sends Elias to the corner, plants Elias to the mat, cover, and Ryker wins the strap match. Great. This match did not last long at all. I did not care for it. It is what it is. Riddle is backstage, and Damian Priest wants to thank Riddle for him being in the Battle Royal. Riddle was basically staying quiet and being Randy Orton and says that he's going to slap Riddle. Basically, Matt Riddle is becoming Randy Orton in a way, so he's just staying quiet. And what happens is that he eventually stops what he's doing, and Riddle's just like, dude, I'm sorry. And what happens after that, and, you know, Damian Priest is just like, yeah. You know, he just wants to thank him and all that stuff. Again, a segment that, you know, I understand what they're doing with Riddle and Randy Orton, but, like, I mean, you don't have to go that over the top, but it is what it is. We get a backstage interview with Drew McIntyre. He tells a story again about what happened, his little stories that, you know, he talks about, which I didn't even take notes on. He talks about, basically it's about the Scottish versus the English versus the Irish. And then in real retrospect, basically what he means is that he's going to slap Riddle around and beat AJ Styles to win the match. All right, we got the last chance triple threat match with Riddle versus AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. Now, first off, I did not like the fact that they booked a last chance triple threat match, qualifying match, whatever you want to call it. Because WWE does this all the time when it comes to their babyfaces. The only reason why they do these types of matches is for the babyface to go over and to just put them in the match with no reason whatsoever. When it comes to a babyface in WWE, I mean, it's just... The thing about it is that they always love shoving them down your throats, and it's not a good thing. They constantly like putting them in the spotlight and love, like, they just want to get sympathy for them. And look, I understand they're the babyface, but at the same time, if you keep on just putting them out there constantly, and just doing random typical babyface things like just interfering in a promo and all that stuff. Look, I know a babyface is a babyface, but I don't know. It's just like a common thing with like WWE's top babyfaces throughout the past few years where they always try to make them look strong, which I understand. But at the same time, if you constantly do that over and over and over again, fans are going to be bored of it and they want to watch something else. I know it is what it is, but I actually expected Riddle to win this match, but McIntyre won. But let's start with the match. I'm not going to lie. This was actually a really, really, really good match to end the show. McIntyre goes after Styles. Styles fights back on McIntyre into the corner. Chop by McIntyre on Styles. Sends Riddle into the corner. We get a kick by McIntyre. Kick by Styles after that. We get a clothesline by McIntyre. Then we get a brainbuster by McIntyre on Riddle. We get a cover into a near fall. Sends Styles into the corner. Riddle kicks McIntyre into the corner repeatedly. We get a belly-to-belly suplex by McIntyre on Riddle. Belly-to-belly on Styles after that. We get an up and over by McIntyre on AJ Styles. We get a cover into a near fall. McIntyre runs but gets sent to the outside. Styles jumps to the apron. McIntyre takes Styles from the knee onto the floor. McIntyre exposes the announce table after that. AJ escapes. We get a kick by Styles. Riddle comes in. We get a couple right hands by Riddle. McIntyre sends Riddle onto the announce table. Sends McIntyre to the post, that being AJ Styles. Riddle and Styles try to suplex each other after that. So basically what happens is that after that we get a vertical suplex by Riddle and Styles. Then McIntyre suplexes AJ. And then after that, both Styles and Riddle suplex McIntyre through the announce table and basically eliminate McIntyre out of the equation for now. Riddle misses a kick. We get a roll through by AJ Styles. Then we get a dragon screw by Styles. Works on the ankle and the knee of Riddle. Riddle hits a knee on Styles. We get a Pele kick by Styles. We get a cover into a near fall. McIntyre tries to get up, but Styles kicks McIntyre. After that, Riddle fights off Styles into the corner. We get a spine buster by Styles. Styles works on the ankle of Riddle. Riddle reaches the rope. We get a brainbuster by Styles on Riddle. We get a cover and a near fall. After that, Riddle tries to hit the RKO, but Styles counters into a Death Valley driver. Yeah, that's how it looked like. It looked like a Death Valley. Cover and a near fall. Styles tries to go for the Styles Clash. McIntyre grabs Styles and runs through the barricade onto the ring post. And the ring post after that, my bad. Works on Riddle into the corner. Drops Riddle face first to the mat. Riddle counters McIntyre's Claymore by sending him to the outside. A flying forearm by Styles onto the outside of McIntyre. We get a flying knee off the top rope on Styles. Kick by Riddle on Styles and then McIntyre. Then we get a Broton on the outside on both McIntyre and Styles. Then he begins to kick on McIntyre, then kicks on Styles. Riddle then misses a kick and hits the steps, which looked brutal, by the way, and he was selling the foot. After that, of course, the doctors took him out of the match. After that, Styles and McIntyre fight it out. We get a belly-to-belly suplex by McIntyre on Styles, then a neckbreaker by McIntyre, then a spine buster by McIntyre on Styles. McIntyre and Styles are on the top. Styles escapes. Styles drops McIntyre with a neckbreaker. Then we get a Michinoku driver by Drew McIntyre. Cover and a near fall. Styles chop blocks McIntyre into the front. McIntyre counters the calf crusher. Styles reverses to the calf crusher once again. Riddle comes back, applies the bro mission on AJ Styles. Riddle sells the knee after that. So after coming back, he sells the knee and McIntyre stomps on Riddle. Kicks on McIntyre. Riddle counters the phenomenal forearm into an RKO, but Omos takes Styles out when he tries to go for the pinfall attempt, which I was kind of angry about. I actually expected Riddle to actually win the match. But then McIntyre comes in, claymores Riddle, and wins the match. Drew McIntyre will officially be part of the Money in the Bank ladder match. Do I think it's a good decision? No. I actually wanted Riddle to win this match, but it is what it is. It's typical WWE booking, but what can you do? But yeah, I will say, though, this was not a bad match at all. This was a pretty fun match to watch. Too bad the rest of the show was pretty bad, in my opinion. Overall thoughts on Monday Night Raw, I do think this show was not as good as last week. Last week I thought was not that bad, but this week went back to square one. This week, there was just a lot of things that I just didn't care about. A lot of the matches I had no interest in whatsoever. A lot of the goofy stuff that they were doing I did not care about. It goes to show you that WWE sucks in 2021. But yeah, that was my Monday Night Raw review from June 28th, 2021. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, push that bell for notifications. Follow me on social media on Instagram and Twitter. And this is Broken Havoc from the Broken Havoc Podcast. Signing out.